Coming into this race weekend, the chase for the #1 plate saw Yamaha's Cameron Beaubier ahead of Suzuki's Tony Elias by a slender 2. But 2 trips into the gravel trap later, and California's Beaubier has 24. Will we see another dramatic swing of fortunes today, or will Cam extend his 3-race win streak to 4? It's time to find out right now, only on beIN Sports. Welcome to the MotoAmerica AMA FIM North American Road Race Championship, round 5 of 10 for 2018. We are at the championship in Monterey, and that's the corkscrew, which means we're at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca in Monterey County. Between Salinas and Monterey, I'm Greg White. Sitting alongside me is Jason Pridmore, and we just witnessed a fantastic World Superbike race, and we're getting ready to start our MotoAmerica coverage with the Motul Superbike class coming up. And we've already had one race. We saw a spectacular performance from Cameron Beaubier and also Roger.
Man, Raj rode so good yesterday, and I sat and texted him last night for a good 40 minutes, and we were just talking about the different things that he's been working on, and he's got pace here, you know. It's just too bad he didn't get a qualifying lap in. For those that didn't get to see yesterday, Raj went out on a qualifying tire. He came out, he went out to scrub a front tire in, Greg. He went out to scrub a front. Didn't do a full complete lap, just went out, came back in. They put a Q on, and on his way into turn 11, he lost the front. Pretty innocent little thing. Loses the front. What it did, though, is it broke a steering damper, and they just weren't able to get him back out in time to try to go do at least one lap. That's why he's coming from 12th.
Well, we'd like to welcome to the broadcast the third member of our team, Hannah Lopa. Hannah, how are you today?
I'm great. I'm down here on pit lane. Bikes have just rolled out. They're about to start, line up on the starting grid. Weather today's a little bit cooler than yesterday. Still clear blue skies, a little bit windier, but again, nothing significant. The real question is, for me, Greg and Jason, I want to know what you guys think. Cameron Beaubier is looking really, really good out there, really solid, strong, consistent this weekend. Is he going to have back-to-back race wins? What do you think?
I got to say, yeah. I think that you're spot on there.
He's a favorite.
This guy here has actually proved to be a little bit human the last 2 rounds, because I rate this guy obviously very high, Tony. I love how he rides. I made a comment 2 years ago that people, even today, came up and said about how he changed the dynamic of our series.
Yeah.
And he's 3 times this weekend, Greg.
And we're going to talk more about Tony. But, you know, this is the Motul Superbike class. And, you know, Motul is very entrenched in motorcycles and motorcycle racing. For more, how about this? Check it out.
My name is Roland Sands. I'm an ex-motorcycle racer, national champion here in the United States on 250 Grand Prix bikes. Started building custom bikes around 2002. That led to a whole line of custom products. The Roland Sands design brand has always been about high quality, and that's why I'm introducing you to Motul oil. So we get an opportunity to put this oil in a lot of different projects and see how that performs. Engineering, design, testing, they know what to put inside this product to ensure that it takes care of your engine. The Motul twin line of products really takes care of those twin cylinder motors in all types of configurations. You got a twin, this oil is going to work, and it's going to work better than anything else in the market. We ride motorcycles because we want to get out there and be free, and we want to enjoy ourselves. And sometimes we want to get to where we need to go for a particular purpose. In order to do that, you really got to maintain your machine correctly, so it will get you there every single time. Motul products, for me, are the right product to put inside your bike because they're going to do that job for you. We've abused the hell out of these motorcycles, and they continue to perform week in and week out. And I got to tell you, that's got to have something to do with the Motul products that go inside of them.
If there's one guy who knows, it's definitely Roland Sands. Man, he was a fast one.
Roland was so good. Did a lot of 250 Grand Prix. And the thing I loved about Roland is that he did so good in 250s. He thought, you know, I want to step up to 600s. He wasn't scared to have a go. And he did jump up to 600. You see Josh Heron here, back out again. But yeah, Roland Sands not only was a tremendous rider, but what he has done with his bike building business, gone on to the fame that he's gained from that. Truly amazing. Some of his bike builds are really neat to look at.
Well, Dunlop is the control tire of this series. You saw a little green on the side of the tires, but for more on how Dunlop supports the sport, take a look at this. Free Race Show is presented by Dunlop Motorcycle Tires, built here for the way you ride here. In the United States, a fan favorite, a team favorite, and a racer favorite. WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca have been around for a long time. 2.238 miles. Jason, give us the Suzuki hotspot.
Here we go. One of everybody's favorite tracks. You see the checkered flag there, Greg. The start-finish line right there. Wide open, uphill, coming into turn one. I picked that as my first hotspot simply because it's a place where you got to make sure that your bike is set up very well for. When you come out of turn 11 and you hold it wide open, there was a time back in the day, really 10 years ago, when the bikes started getting really light up over the top. Now with the electronics and things, these guys can pretty much keep it flat out over the top of this hill. You can see a little bit of video from Josh Herron last year coming up over the top. Down into turn two. Really our first key overtaking spot at Laguna Seca. And you can see this is a spot where if you can get a good run up over the top of turn one, there's a lot of different ways you can take it. Now you can also run wide, which is going to allow somebody to cut it back up underneath you. Now, turns 3 and 4, very flat, very important. Up to turn 5, and as you start going towards turn 6, this is where the track changes dramatically elevation-wise. From that run from 5 to 6, you got a big dip in the middle of turn 6, and now you have a big steep uphill that takes you to maybe one of the most famous places as racetracks go in the world, the famous corkscrew. Corkscrew is a blind entry coming in. You're getting ready to drop 10 stories down. You're going to go from the left to the right. If you do it right, Greg, you're not doing a lot of things with the throttle between that left and the right. Down the hill through rainy curve, turn 11, turn 9, down to turn 10, very big turn 10. And it gives you a real shot, turn 11 here, last big passing opportunity onto the front straightaway.
So there you go, hot spots as Josh Herron coming straight off of a big World Superbike race is getting stretched out, which means we're going to commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about this guy and the rest of the field. Stay with us. MotoAmerica is presented by Dunlop. Dunlop Motorcycle Tires build the official MotoAmerica race tire right here in the USA. And powered by Kawasaki. Let the good times roll. We're back, which means we want to get down to Hannah right now. Hannah?
Josh, this is the last of 4 races for you this weekend. How are you feeling right now? How are you holding up?
Pretty good. Just went and took a cold shower. Almost missed the sighting lap. Just pumped to be out here. That last race, I felt like we had a good run going. I felt good, but the rear tire let go with like 10, 12 laps to go. Came in, and the whole left side of it was just completely straight. Right side was rounded. Don't really know what was going on, but sucks pretty bad. At least we got to finish today. Hopefully today we got the right tire for the MotoAmerica race, and these Dunlops will hold up nice, like I know they should. And yeah, hopefully we have a good one.
Thanks, Josh. Best of luck to you.
All that is, Greg, is just not having enough time to test. That's all it is. Just getting used to what the Pirellis are like. Pirellis are great tires as well. And the thing is it's just a matter of the fact that he just didn't get enough time to test. He was running 10th pretty solid, and we knew that there was a problem because he started going backwards. The cold shower is probably the best thing that he could have done right now, and try to get a little bit relaxed, try to get some fluids in him for sure as well. And you saw him getting stretched out there before the start, but he'll be keyed up, ready to go when we get ready to go here for the Motul Superbike Championship. Row 1, Josh Herron, Cameron Bobier, Danny Essek, just outside of row 1. Then we got Tony Elias, Garrett Gerloff, Jake Lewis, who was very good this morning in warm-up. Watched him a little bit there. Kyle Wyman, Matthew Schultz, Cameron Peterson, another guy This has been a good weekend for Cameron Peterson. Bobby Fong, David Anthony, and Roger Hayden are rounded out through row 4. Then we got row 5, Sebastian Ferreira, Jason Uribe. We're going to look out there to see if he makes this start. He was out there this morning in warm-up. Max Flinders, Bruno Silva, San Bernardino, and Roy Holster round out row 6. And I talked about Cameron Peterson just now. I had a good chat with Danny Walker this morning, and Danny was like, yeah, this has been a lot better weekend. They've got a little bit better feel for Cam. Felt like he should have been a little bit further up yesterday. I said, you know, they were able to beat Jake Lewis yesterday, which was good, as we see Josh Herron kind of looking for something. Not exactly sure what he's looking for. But this guy here, Greg, just focused. He realizes how important yesterday was. He got a horrendous start yesterday. And you can see the attack crew, something's going on with the attack crew. You can see that there was a problem for Josh. Now Danny's looking. They're running over.
Maybe, I know what that is.
Mouthpiece.
No, that's his nose strip. Yeah,
yeah.
It's the magnetic nose strip that opens up and helps him breathe.
Now he can breathe. Hey, he can breathe. So.
Kind of important with 23 laps scheduled of race competition.
Hey, let's talk about Tony for a second here, because I've never seen Tony struggle like this. And guys, he's such a good rider. Obviously, we know that already. This is a place that he did pretty well at last year, and he's done. Our current Superbike champion. You see him coming down here just in front of the pace cars and trying to get himself a good warm-up lap. He's made the same mistake, Greg, 3 times now in turn 2, which is really unusual, which just kind of tells you that maybe there's a few things going on. But I know this morning he looked a lot better, and you might have a little something to add to that.
Well, yeah, what we do know is that he crashed that motorcycle, and that was the 3rd time that bike had been crashed. Once at MotoAmerica, twice here. So the crew had to park that bike, and they rebuilt him a new motorcycle last night, and they changed the setup on that bike. And so he's starting on a bike. He's familiar with that bike. It's not like it's brand new, out of a box. He actually, last time he was on that frame, won.
Yep.
But this morning, obviously, he went P2 in warm-up, and it's a good sign. All right, let's get down to Hannah, who has our cycle gear last-minute report. Hannah, what you got for us?
Now, when I was just talking to Josh, he mentioned he was having some tire fade issues in that last race for World Superbike. I caught up with our friends at Dunlop, and he actually made a change for his Dunlop tires from yesterday. So he went from the soft front to the extra soft front, and he went from the super soft rear to the extra soft rear. So he's got extra soft front and rear. So maybe he's changing his strategy up a little bit to compensate for his exhaustion, or just based on what he was feeling with the tires yesterday. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Super Soft is a red stripe tire, which is now we have the benefit. This is our first race of seeing that. And the Extra Soft is actually a little bit firmer, and that has green on it. So I think really what they're trying to do is strategize towards the end of the race. And tires and that tire selection really becoming a big story of going from one day to another here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. As you can see, Tony.
This guy's start yesterday, Greg, he went like dead right off the start. I don't know if you noticed it.
I did.
But he went straight right. Like it was almost like he made a mistake, and he was still able to power past all these guys. So when you see Herron right now on the front left of your screen, if he goes left at all, Tony's going right again.
Here we go. Race number 2. The Motul Superbike class is underway. Tony Elias, straight right again to the outside. Gets a good start. Not quite the launch he had yesterday. Bobier, admittedly with a horrible start yesterday, is going to slot himself into 3rd with his teammate Garrett Gerloff trying to go around the outside of him. Jake Lewis up the inside. Now, looks like Jake Lewis on that M4 XStar Suzuki in 4th.
Now we're back to Road America. The first 3 guys that we see here are the ones that got into it a little bit at Road America. Cameron has got to try to do something here relatively early. Much better start. Look at the drive Greg he gets, but watch how Tony, when he gets that bike upright, how fast that Yoshimura Suzuki is. Very difficult to pass Tony in the break. Look how tight he is. He's wide though, Greg. He's already wide. That's already a big mistake from Tony Elias. It's going to allow Garrett Gerloff through. That's exactly what Cameron needed to have happen. So Tony still, to me, on corner entry, still doesn't have a lot of confidence because he's just running straight down to the inside of the corner again. Garrett Gerloff looks much racier today than he did at this point early in the first lap yesterday.
Garrett Gerloff, number 31, teammate in the Yamaha Factory Racing Squad, trying to chase down the Attack Performance, Herron Compound Yamaha. So 3 Yamahas lead the way right now.
I picked Garrett yesterday to put him in the podium, a little bit wide in turn 10. And there must have been something going on. I should have gone, look at Garrett. He's going to have a go at Cameron right off the bat as they come into turn 11. That's going to get tight. Hey, that's Cameron. That's good on Cameron. Cameron gave him room. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
He could have chopped the nose off and run risking taking them both down, but he didn't do that. He gave him a little bit of room And so they both keep fighting on. Good move from Cameron Bovier there. Look a little further back. You see Jake Lewis, Matthew Schultz, Raj Hayden. Didn't get as great of a start as he did yesterday as Matthew Schultz goes underneath Jake Lewis.
One of your hot spots.
Yep.
Lewis just went a little bit wide. Nice and tidy line from the Yamaha Westby Racing Yamaha racer. Matthew Schultz from South Africa trying to get back on pace from early season success. And then Dunlop brought out that new higher profile tire, a 260 profile tire, and that team still trying to get grips with that new size tire.
Right, so just in the background there, you can see Tony still forward. It looks like Rod's tried to make a pass on Jake as they went into turn number 5. Tony's got a great run on Garrett. He's going to go up the inside of him here at the top of the corkscrew, Greg. If he lets off the brake and runs it in there tighter, nope, not quite close enough. Tony's got to just kind of, for lack of a better way of putting it, he's just got to try to get himself a good haul of points here today. Get through here, figure out what is actually going on before we still got 5 rounds left after this. So the championship's far from over. We know we can run a string of laps together, a string of wins together. But even if you notice, you see how close he was in the corkscrew and how far back he is now as they break into turn 11?
Tony.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem like something's clicking with the front end of that motorcycle.
Number 1 is Tony Elias, our national champion on the Yoshimura Suzuki in 4th spot. Also, with those green tires, that could be another factor. One of the things in talking to the racers, they say is that tires,
he just doesn't have confidence turning it.
And that's the thing. It takes about 5 laps for them to get total confidence. Well, not Cameron. Cameron really loves that combination. You can see the green stripes on those tires. That's that extra soft. And so it might be that we might see Tony going after it a little bit harder, but they're still working on it with Josh Harrod who goes over his shoulder.
24.3, first flying lap, or second lap now, but fastest lap for him, 24.365, just does it on that lap. Probably going to give Josh a little bit of confidence, but Cameron's also a smart guy, man. He's going to realize, okay, we got 20 laps to go. Nobody's going anywhere. Nobody's going to get just way out in front. All this is going to do is stretch the field out at the beginning of the race.
You know, Harron just got off the bike after 25 laps of full Superbike competition, and with a tire that was going off, which is going to take even more energy.
That's exactly right. You can see Josh already at the top of the hill. The bike's backing into the right, it's backing into the left. And all those little things, that's what exerts so much energy. That's what tires a rider out. When the bike is continuously moving underneath you, that's going to tire you out. See there again, Tony a little bit tighter into 10 than everybody else as Matthew Schultz now starts to close up on the back of him. You can see Raj did get by on the last lap from Jake Lewis. So Aaron's looking at his board. He goes 24.3 the lap prior, 24.9 on this lap. It's going to allow the 2 Yamaha boys to pull up just a little bit more as they go 24.4, 4.5. So, Elias in the 25s already. Look how wide he is out there again, Greg. And I know he's trying to get the bike squared up on the exit as Tony, but he just gets out there so far wide because I don't think he has the confidence of actually turning the bike in.
Lap 4 of 23 on this one. Josh Harrod again with a look over his shoulder, which just tells me he's not racing forward at this moment.
Yeah, it's a little bit that, but he's also getting a plus to Cameron, and he probably wants to see if there's anybody else with him, meaning probably Tony. Because he knows that Tony is going to try to charge up the inside of him if he gets the opportunity. And it's, you know, I can understand why Josh does it. A lot of commentators, including myself, have always said race forward. But sometimes when you're this early in the race, and you know the lap times that are popping up on your screen, you kind of want to see who else is there, because you can see these 3 now have put out a pretty big gap on Tony back there in 4th.
Cannot tell you what a monumental task it has been for the attack team to do World Superbike and MotoAmerica. If you're just joining us and you weren't here yesterday, that's one bike. They've been doing the entire weekend on one motorcycle and having to switch tire brands, having to switch bodywork tanks. As it looks like now, a big move is being made. Tony Elias.
Now let's see if Matthew can stay ahead of him up the straightaway. He's got to move over to the left and try to make Tony go around the outside of him. No chance. Now Raj has got to run on both of them, but you can see the Yoshimura Suzuki of Tony Elias is no match, unfortunately, for Matthew, or is a huge match for Matthew's bike, and he runs in there tighter than Tony that time.
It's
so
like
now,
Rogers got something hanging off. It might be a sticker.
Like a sticker or
it's
something.
off the right side of the bike. It's kind of flapping around there. Sorry.
Yeah. No. I'm glad you pointed that out. I always worry about that stuff when you see something flapping around. The hard part is that Tony's going to start getting really defensive here for Schultz and Raj to try to do anything. You see Matthew now take a look over his shoulder to kind of see, all right, who's back there? Raj is back there, but Tony's going to be running into some of these turns tight. He doesn't want to lose any more points. He probably figures at this point that Cameron's going to go on and win this race. And he doesn't want to keep losing big chunks of points. And right now he's got 2 guys directly behind him.
To the top of the corkscrew they go. Look a little tighter for Josh Herron on that one. Down they go. You can see Herron trying to square up the corkscrew in a way where Beaubier was a nice tight line.
Garrett's doing a great job too, keeping these guys in sight real early. This is good for Garrett to be able to just run this pace, see what his teammates doing, see how he's running with Josh. And he also knows that Herron's done a bunch of laps. You see in the background, Matthew Schultz is trying it again, isn't he, Greg, back there? It looked like.
Gerloff so far this season, 3 podium appearances, all third place finishes. So in his rookie season, he's 5th in the points right now, 91 back from his teammate. Gerloff still learning the bike and really still learning how to ride a Superbike versus a 600.
Raj is through.
Raj is through.
And Tony's kept it a little bit tighter, and Matthew tries to go underneath Raj. Nope. Is he going to be able to do it? That just creates a little tiny bit of a gap, but Raj does hold that spot. Now, Raj is going to have to try to get up there, and if there's a match for Tony on the straights, it's probably going to be Raj's bike. So it might be easier for him to get in there and park. You can see here's the exit that last time they came through. Oh,
that was close.
Matthew moved over to the right because he knew that's where Tony was going to come.
Yeah,
and
just a little late.
Yeah, just a tiny little bit late. And having to get out of the throttle, that's what allowed Raj through. So you see how much Josh's bike is moving around going up the hill. I was like, come up here. That's where he tried it yesterday. Now see how Josh's bike backs in right, then it backs in left. And Cameron's bike is just able to stay a little bit more settled. Here we go. These guys, this is going to be a big battle for 4th. And what they want to do now is they don't want to let Garrett get too far out there.
This is where the part of the race where those extra soft Dunlops with the green, a lot of riders are telling me start to really come in. So we'll have to see if Tony's able to do what we've seen him do in the past, which is kind of fade at the beginning, and then all of a sudden he just starts to methodically work his way forward as the fuel load goes down. He gets used to the characteristics of the bike after a big change.
Yep.
It's really the first time he's had this bike at race pace in a long time. The bike is familiar. Last time he rode the chassis that he's on, he won. That's what Daisuke told me.
Yeah, that's great.
So he's familiar with the bike, but new tire, new setup, new electronics in terms of like what they put into it. So
how about this great onboard footage we've got now for our MotoAmerica stuff? This is from the back, from the front of Cameron Beaubier, rather. And you're going to get a chance to see a lot of different things. You'll get to see the bikes moving around. This is headed down into turn 5. You see Josh is just getting the thing backed in there ever so slightly. All that does, though, Greg, really is it just slows his mid-corner speed down. You can see how much Cameron had on the exit there as he's going to try into turn 6. It's a pretty sketchy spot.
That's a sketchy spot.
It's a hard spot. It's just a big committed spot. But look what it does. Opens it up slowly as they come up the hill.
Cameron looks patient. He doesn't look really that bothered.
Doesn't look too stressed at the moment, does he?
And no one's really on his heels. His teammate Garrett Gerloff has got good pace, but still just a tenth or two off each lap. So Gerloff is not threatening right now for the lead. And I say right now because Gerloff's still learning this Superbike. And he might have an opportunity if these two start banging and passing each other, because we know that's one thing. So often, Jason, you could say, okay, if Cam Beaubier makes a big move on Josh Herron, is he going to take it? No, he won't. He'll fight back.
Raj made the pass. He tried to make the pass. I think Tony squared him up, right? So it looked like Raj actually had gone underneath Tony. I'm looking at the distance. It was 3 seconds last time. Now it's 2.7 to Garrett. So these guys here are actually starting to catch Garrett Gerloff just a little bit. So, and the guys in front aren't yarding away the way I thought they were going to.
Yeah, I definitely looking at that. Lap times have dropped a little bit. The fastest lap of the race was done by Josh Herron on lap 2 at a 24.3, and now they're at 25.3. So just 7 laps in, it's dropped about 1 second.
But look at that, just in 4th and 5th, 25 flat for both Yoshimura Suzukis.
So 24.9 for Stoltz.
And that's really going to determine how aggressive Cameron starts looking at what he's got to do with Josh. If he continues to see +1 on his board to Garrett, he's not going to get too stressed. You see Tony runs pretty wide there on turn 6. He's not going to get overly stressed, but if he starts seeing that gap come down just a little bit, you're going to see number 6 start to stick his nose in there pretty quickly to try to find a way through.
Josh Herron Attack Performance, Herron Compound Yamaha, that privateer effort, continuing to lead the way. Puts the gas on, back starts to move around a bit.
Raj made a big pass and must have moved Tony out of the way. And that's what Raj had to do. I was going to say, Raj just needs to have it going. He did. Look how tight he's coming into there. So that's good for him. Now he's going to have to try to just hold this off as they get ready to go up over the top of the hill. Matthew Schultz is just not wanting to see that number 1 bike get anywhere near him over the straightaway.
And having Roger right in front of him, he at least caught a sniff of a draft.
Correct.
And that helped his cause because Tony wasn't really interested in getting into the draft of Matthew Schultz.
Here we go, Cameron. I really feel now, let's look at the times, 25-1, 25-2. Cameron just looks like he's sitting there. He's going to have to try to do something pretty soon, though, because I think Roger's going to push that pace a little bit more forward.
Garrett Gerloff hanging out in no man's land, doing a great job on the third spot.
Really good job.
1.4 seconds the gap back to Roger Hayden. Roger looking to take some time out of that. That attack, Yamaha looks very good through that section. Oh, Beaubier looks like he had a run for a moment. It shows you how strong that motor is.
Yep.
Not really giving anything away to the factory Yamahas of Cameron Beaubier.
Yep.
Incredible what Josh Herron's doing right now, dude. I mean,
And
so
he's just-
you're at 30, you're at 33 race laps today,
Josh
nearly in
is
a
just
row.
thinking, man, the faster I get done with this, the faster I get to rest.
There you go.
So just keep racing the checker. It looks like Cameron's got him set up, though, Greg, into turn 11. He's going to park it underneath him. We'll see if Herron can square it up and try to do something with him on the exit. It looks like he has. He's done exactly that, Greg. Going up over the top of turn 1. I like Cameron's position here, but he's just not quite nosed enough in front, but he's going to let the brake lever off as they go down into turn 2.
Beaubier getting very aggressive on this pass. He gets in there, but he's a little wide. They're both a little wide, so they square it up. And it's going back to Josh Herron, and this is exactly what Cameron Beaubier knows. I think he was sitting there for a few laps saying, okay, I know I can pass him, but where can I pass Herron and actually make it stick? At this moment, it's definitely not in and out of turn 11.
Yep, and there's a spot where I'm not exactly sure why Herron would look back. Now, you look back a little bit there, you know the guy's right behind you, and I know he's probably looking there to see, okay, is there anybody dicing it up right now? Is Cameron got somebody pushing him? And that might be why he's doing it. But boy, now our focus has got to be going forward, knowing that we've got somebody who's tried to make a couple of advances at us in this last lap. Saw literally 3 or 4 different passes for the lead there.
Get back to the field as we continue to watch this race up front. Jason Uribe. Jason Uribe, who was teammates with Cam Peterson for the weekend on the Jenner and Broster Chicken Honda, didn't start yesterday, up to 11th ahead of his teammate, who's in 12th spot. You see that in the left part of your screen. So now they're coming up on lap draft.
See 26.9 from Cam is his fastest, and his last was a 29.3. So could have been a little bit of a mistake there for him. As these guys are all coming up on somebody. I saw the lead go through, and there you go, Tony. This is going to frustrate Matthew. Really, really frustrate Matthew right now.
And Tony has position. Yeah, if I'm Matthew Schultz for sure, based off of what happened yesterday with Tony Elias, I'm not trying him around the outside down there in turn 2.
No, Tony's probably gonna get some white berth for people here as he goes down into turn 2, and it might even help Tony to just see Raj on the same bike as his and what exactly is going on between the two characteristics of the motorcycles. It's still Gary's actually pulled away from that group for 4th right now. Those guys racing racing with each other. But 25.3 the last lap through for Garrett Gerloff. He's going the same pace as these guys. Garrett's doing a good job right now.
So I wonder if Cam Beaubier had thought, okay, I'm going to take a shot at him. If it doesn't pay off, I'll follow him. There's got to be that thought going through his head that maybe Josh Herron might fatigue partway through this race. It is just not the easiest thing to do in the world is to lead this race.
It's going to help Cameron there. That's going to give Cameron another shot. He's going to go up there and park him again and see if he can anyways. This one here, now, look at here. I love that. That's going to ruin it for Josh, though. He is trying so hard. I love the guy's fight. I really do. I say it all the time.
He just grabbed his brake adjuster, too, by the way.
Did he?
I saw him grab a little brake adjuster. No!
And let's see if Cameron... No, look at Josh. That I do like about him. Gives him a little, hey, I'm sorry about that, but good on him. He's having to go. Guy's done so many laps. Now Cameron's going back underneath him. Let's see how they come. Look at these two guys racing hard. I love seeing this stuff.
And Herron with the advantage. So we thought that Beaubier was going to have it for a moment, but Herron never given up. This is his riding style. And I really love to see the aggression from the championship points leader, Cameron Beaubier. Really awesome racing. both working on streaks, by the way, as Beaubier right now is on a 3-race win streak and Josh Herron on a 3-race second-place streak. So they're trying to snap that. Both of them up to the corkscrew they go.
Yep, and Cameron's got some pace up the hill, but Herron does such a good job getting into the corkscrew. I love how he tightens the lineup as he gets to the crest of the hill and goes to the apex. It makes it very difficult to pass, and you can see very straight line down here in the rainy curve. Now, last time out of turn 10, we saw Josh's bike get a little loose to go up underneath him. What Cameron really is going to end up having, look how much is tightening everything up, Greg. Look at what's happening right now. It's getting so tight, we might see 3 guys battling for the lead here in a minute. If Garrett can just get a little closer, but Raj and Tony have closed the gap down. Now, Tony's close enough to where he might do one of his little dive bomb moves on Raj to get down into turn 1. Oh, they're both in deep again. Cameron's out wide.
Cameron way wide.
Yep.
That, I think, was just a little bit too much speed in there, and Herron had
Tony made a mistake.
Yes,
Tony got in there too, so I don't know if he tried to dive bomb Raj. It didn't look like he was going to, but maybe he just got in really close to the back of Raj and had to let off the brakes and run himself a little bit wide, but that's going to allow Matthew now to get himself up into 5th.
Sebastian Ferreira and Bobby Fong out of this race. Both riders retired. Just to keep you posted. Ken Peterson back around his teammate up into 11th. David Anthony again with a solid performance, 10th at the moment. Things fanning out just a little bit as Skoltz in that 5th place position. And now it looks like Roger Hayden really getting on the back of Garrett Gerloff.
Yep. He's doing a good job as Raj. He's where is he at, Greg? 24.8, same fast lap as yesterday. 25 flat the last time through. So Raj is only 2/10 off of his fastest lap of the race. And now he's going to find himself get up to the back of Garrett here. So it looks like Cameron's just saying, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a breath.
Yeah, because how many corners has he tried him?
Yeah, he's tried it.
It's been 11. He's tried him down in 2. He's tried him in 3. They were side by side in 4. He's running out of corners to give Josh Herron a fit.
And he might be thinking to himself, all right, we're going to let these tires go a few more laps here. We're going to see if maybe Josh gets a little bit tired. And, you know, what Josh is doing out front is not easy to do. Lead the laps like he's leading them right now. And just have a look. What do you see, Gary? I'm
just taking a look at Roger Hayden's tire selection. You can see Garrett Gerloff there with that green stripe around it. That's that extra soft. And yesterday, Roger Hayden had that red tire, the super soft. So what's up, Hannah?
Yeah, I've got Bobby Fong down here. Bobby, you're obviously retired from the race. Tell us about what happened.
You know, we just been working as a team to try to figure out some issues this weekend, but you know, I'm looking forward to Millet Motorsports Park, and I know my boys will work hard and you know, the little break we got, but you know, it's all a part of the game. It's not sunny every day, so we're just going to keep on digging like we always do, and be back on top sooner than later.
Thanks, Bobby. You guys, I really like his positive attitude about this.
Yeah, it's good to hear Bobby like that, because Bobby doesn't, you know, he's a front-running guy for sure. There's no question about that. So we're just gonna, you know, they're working hard. We've seen some tracks where Bobby's been able to do really well, and then some others where it's been a bit of a struggle. So hopefully they can get that thing ready for Utah. I'm really enticed by this battle for third right now. And Matthew just tucking in for all he's got. He doesn't want to see alongside, but Roger's got to try to start to figure out what he wants to do. He's going to.
I thought he was going.
I thought he was going to have it go there. Look at Tony again. Turn 2 again for Tony. Just struggling with that little area of the racetrack. And Jake Lewis has now gone by him. See if Tony tries to square him up. No, Jake's going to do a great job for Jake. He's got those guys still in line there in front of him.
Jake Lewis, M4 X-Star Suzuki, running that helmet that we talked about 35 years with Team Hammer.
That's a great story too. Talked to John this morning. We didn't get to mention Bruce Hammer yesterday, who that team was originally named after. And John told me it all started back in 1980 at Suzuka, and where a lot of really cool things have happened over there. And essentially, where it all ended up is they started an endurance team in '81, and then unfortunately Bruce got paralyzed at MotoAmerica in 1982. And John knew the exact date, 1982. I believe he said it was in May, and you know, he said it's a date that will forever be etched in his brain. But what that team has accomplished and what they've done, and to bring that helmet back, and that so many great riders have raced it over the years, that design, it was a great story. Just getting a chance to talk to John, and you know, Sport owes the Orange family a lot. 38 years in the business of that team.
Years
amazing
of that team, yep. And Arai had heard it from the fans too. Just this weekend, plenty of people come up to them because the entire M4 squad, whether it's Med-H Suzuki, X-Star Suzuki, they're all running that helmet, so fans have already said to a ride, how about a replica? Here comes Roger Hayden, aggressive move on the inside. Can he get a turn? No. Is that going to open the door for Skulls?
Now, does Rod square off and go back to the inside and turn 3?
He does. It's a flat corner. It demands a lot of that front tire, but Roger Hayden, can he get it to the apex? No. Gerloff forces the issue. So Derek Gerloff not wanting to give up the position. Roger trying to go around the outside. That's crazy.
Great riding. Raj gave him a little bit of room. But look at Matthew. Matthew's going to try to go by both of them as they go into turn 5. He gets by Garrett. But you know, these guys are racing each other so clean and so good. What happens there in turn 2 is that when you run a little bit wide, what it also allows is you to stand the bike up right a little earlier. That's how come I felt like Raj could then try to squirt underneath Garrett going into turn 3, which he did. Both guys raced each other extremely clean through turn 4. But it did open up the door for Matthew, and I've said it time and time and time again. When you see, and Cameron has got through on Josh Herring as well.
So Cameron Beaubier leads the way now as he finally has made the pass for the lead. And just like that, ekes out 4/10 of a second.
We were so wrapped up in this great battle for third, and Matthew Skulls doing a tremendous job on that Yamalu Westby Yamaha. He's got underneath Raj now, going into turn 11. And let's see if Raj squares that turn back up. He has. Raj has already got it squared back up. This is the kind of stuff you see at Laguna Seca all the time. And he's got himself back up in front of Matthew as they head up over turn 1.
He's got good position into 2. So Roger Hayden, there goes Tony.
Jake's going to try to turn it back up underneath him, and he should be able to.
Very close.
But look at this battle for third. We got 5 bikes getting closer and closer together. The thing about all the mistakes poor Tony's made was not necessarily just his fault. He's obviously fighting something, but he's still in that battle for third. They're still right in front of him with 5 or 6 laps to go.
So Cameron Beaubier already with a 6/10 of a second, 24.9 to Herring's 26.0.
Oh, Herring got it so loose and so sideways.
Herring gave it to him.
In turn 2. So he just got it out there, and that's exactly the door that Cameron needed, and it looked like he was waiting for, and he runs 24.9, so he immediately jumps back in the 24s, and Josh went 26 flat running that wide, which tells me his pace is not dropping off. He's still capable of doing those low 25s, is Herring, so we'll see if he can pull it in and go with it.
I don't know, Beaubier just set the fastest sector 3 time for him, so obviously Beaubier still has a lot of his Dunlop tires left. That's the battle for third, though. 95 is Roger Hayden. Number 11 is Matthew Skulls. Skulls technically a Superbike rookie this year. He's already a race winner. Only 3 riders in this class have won races this season. It's Beaubier, Tony Lewis, and Matthew Skulls. And so Skulls looking to put himself back on the podium after what's been, for them, a big struggle the last couple races ever since Dunlop introduced that new tire. Roger Hayden now with some clear track in front of him, looking good.
Look at Tony.
Right up underneath Garrett Gerloff.
He gets the bike stopped, turned, and that's the thing is that.
But how do you have confidence in the front end after how many times?
Exactly what champions do. The guys run wide. There's so many times this weekend, and you might look back on this race at the end of the year, especially if he's able to somehow find the podium on that number 1 GSXR Motul. If he's able to do that, this is a big telling race for him right now. But yeah, to have the confidence to keep doing that, pretty impressive.
For sure, Roger Hayden is back. Number 17, San Bernardino, coming up for the 3rd place rider, Roger Hayden. He's going to be getting through that traffic. Blue flags will fly to indicate to traffic that the leaders are coming through. And there is a great train
right at the top on their way down out of the corkscrew, on their way through the Rainy. And he's going to get a big group of guys coming up on him right now. They're going to have to do something with him, probably on the entry to turn 10. Both bikes are going to run probably to the right of him here.
Yeah, that's a bad spot to catch. Roger's going to power right around him. So Sam doing the right thing, getting to that spot, but...
Oh, look at Tony.
Tony.
Always there to take advantage of an opportunity if he can,
Yeah. Yeah. It looked like Garrett Gerloff, unfortunately, got held up for a moment. But Sam's got to run his own race. There's no question about it.
No question. Here comes Jake. Jake's still in this fight. Jake Lewis still in this fight for third. It's good. And Garrett runs a little bit wide that time. So, something tells me that probably, look at the leaders' lap times, Greg. 25-1, 25-1. Josh Herring is about a second back, but he's not letting him get away up in the battle ahead of these guys.
This is the final spot on the podium.
Yep.
95 Roger Hayden, New Factory Suzuki with Privateer Yamalu, Westby Racing Yamaha's Matthew Skulls. right in between Tony Elias, of course, a teammate. Garrett Gerloff is on that factory Monster Energy Yamaha factory racing. And then behind them, M4 X-Star Suzuki's Jake Lewis, who, you know what, position-wise on the racetrack, one of the things that he and his team look at is how far back from the leader and how far back from that final spot on the podium. You know, many laps, 5 laps to go in this one. It's a good sign for the M4 X-Star Suzuki team that Lewis is this close.
And he's all over the back now, for sure, of Garrett. You know, it's all over the. And this battle up here, this sort of 7 guys, from 1st to 7th right now is only 7.9 seconds. And so for Jake to be that close to the leaders is tremendous. You know, you can see the 2 Yoshimura Suzuki still right in front of him. It's going to give him a lot of confidence as well as his team. Look at Tony. He's going to have a go down in turn 2, isn't he? I'm thinking, here, look. Yeah. See how he can carve it? See how he can carve it?
Saw him.
He's found something new, has Tony. Now he's going to try to do something in turn 3. Yes. Yep. Now Matthew should be able to square it up, but look, see Tony parks it. Yep. He literally parks it at the apex, and now Roger's going to have some issues because his teammate has found a new way to get through turn 2. He goes in there with him and then carves the bike underneath him. Matthew has to look over his shoulder to see if anybody else is close. And look how tight Tony goes into turn 5, just to make sure that Matthew can't go by him.
Let's see if Matthew can close up on him. There's the look of the gap as Josh Herron has now closed that down from 0.8 of a second. It's now down to 0.5 second. Beaubier starting to slide around, although that looks like a very comfortable rhythm for the very talented Californian on that Monster Energy Yamaha factory racing machine.
There you go. This is coming down through the corkscrew. Both our 1st and 2nd place guys. And you can see Cameron just gets that bike just a little bit tighter on his exit so it can help him get through the right-hander down the corkscrew. Maybe that was a lap that Josh just ran a little bit wide up at the top of the hill and then makes that right-hander a little bit harder for Josh. But those are the 1/10 or 2/10 of a second that will constantly be going back and forth. And then Josh will make that time up somewhere else.
This is where they hang out the pit board, so that's the information that a rider gets if they never look back. And Roger Hayden's pit board said, your teammate Tony's right behind you.
Yep. Now this is where he's been really carving it up. Like Raj that time went a lot tighter through the middle of that corner. And you can see Tony's exit out of there was a little bit more shallow, but it allows him to get on the gas a little bit harder, close that gap as they run into turn 3.
Tony Elias, after disaster yesterday and giving away 25 points to Cameron Beaubier, having a mistake-riddled race, but still able to put himself in contention for this podium. With less than 3 laps to go, Roger Hayden is coming under fire. And of course, Roger Hayden, who has, 3 DNFs, 1 DNS, and 2 third-place finishes, only 2 podiums for Roger halfway through the season, is desperately wanting to find a rhythm.
Tony, hey, if Raj opens up that top of the corkscrew again, Tony's going back to the apex. Somebody's down, Greg. Somebody is down. So I'm not sure who it is. Looks like Herron. Herron has crashed. It looks turned. If you look now, they've put it back to 7th on our screen on the left. So let's have a look. Is that Josh? It is Josh. What a shame.
Nearly
a absolute shame.
Free weekend to think about how many laps he had to go around on that one motorcycle.
Oh my gosh.
And
he's
the
done
handlebars
such a
broken.
great job. He's still trying to get it back. Look at him. He's
a fighter.
Yeah.
Always a fighter.
I mean,
well, that's going to move Roger Hayden and Tony Elias onto the podium. That means that now, Skoltz, those guys would have seen Herron down, so they know what position they're in. So Skoltzy on the bubble in terms of the podium right now. So Herron.
Poor Josh. It's too bad. The
so close with a couple laps to go.
Yeah.
Josh Herron throws it down the road. What do you think? On the front? I mean, it looked
like a front. It probably pushed him down. It broke the right handlebar, but I feel bad for the guy. The guy has done so many millions of laps around here this weekend. For it to all go bad for him with 3 or 4 to go is a shame. But hats off to Josh on a tremendous weekend.
Yeah, he gets the Iron Man award.
That whole attack performance team as well. Now, let's see what happens here, Greg. I'm curious. Did Tony learn something that last lap? If Raj opens up the top of this corkscrew just a little bit, Tony might try to do something with him. And that time there, he's got yellow flags. Can't do anything that time.
That's right. A waving yellow flag in MotoAmerica Motul Superbike. Oh, Tony's going up the inside. Yep. Hello, surprise.
He's not afraid to run it down the inside, and that's what you got to do. You got to be able to think outside the box. Now, what's Raj doing? Look how tight he goes into turn 10. Raj might try to do something, but Tony's going to stay over to the left. Look, Raj is trying. No, not going to be able to make it.
If I'm Roger, I'm trying to put it up the inside on Tony in turn number 2 as Tony's been strong. What a drive Tony got on that.
Unbelievable. For sure, unbelievable
White
drive.
flag flies. Final lap for Cameron Beaubier with a 7.6 lead. Also some lap traffic up ahead into turn 2. Tony, is he able to hold on to it? He does. Nice and tidy lap traffic getting out of the way.
Now Roger's going to have to try to figure something out himself here.
Tony's pulling the pin.
But you know what? Tony, man, he's going to look back and probably laugh at this race a little bit. He's going to be frustrated, obviously. He's not going to be happy. He's going to look at the fact that there was 2 guys in front of him and this happened. But it's going to be 20 points in the bank.
That's right.
He's only going to lose 5 points today and severe damage control over what could have been a big, massive loss of points.
Especially about the times he ran wide and made these little mistakes.
And now he's just ran his the first sector for Tony was his fastest first sector of the entire race. So maybe this could have something to do with fuel loads and things like that. This guy's been pit class all week.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Monster Energy, Yamaha Factory Racing's Cameron Beaubier. If Cam can negotiate these last couple of corners and take this checkered flag, he will extend his win streak to 4.
So simple.
He's only been off the podium, Jason, 1 time, and that was the first race of the year.
Yep.
Here he comes, the front straightaway, wheel in the air. Cameron Beaubier will take his 2nd victory and his 2nd double of the season, and here comes the final 2 spots on the podium. It'll go to Tony Elias and Roger Hayden.
Jake Lewis coming across, not that far behind. Great ride, Jake Lewis. Good job also to Garrett. And the 2 Yoshimura Suzuki boys, you know, it's good for Raj. We saw Raj on the podium twice this week, and that's kind of what we saw all last year. And you can see Tony congratulating Cameron. I think Tony's going to probably be as happy as one could be with 2nd place, salvaging something like he did there.
Yeah, and coming out of the points too, I think, even though with Herron, with him crashing, he had, let's see, 19 points on Skoltz. So Skoltz with his 4th place finish, he'll have 13 points. So Herron should still comfortably be in that 3rd place spot in the points, which is something he definitely values after the effort that they put into to get him points in the first 2 races of the season when his actual race bike didn't show up.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
Yeah, just because of mechanical issues of the transport.
Right, yep, it's such a bummer to see that happen to him. But how about Matthew Skoltz, too? Chuck and the guys just really rallied around last night, made some changes, it sounds like, and got Matthew a little more comfortable on the bike, finishing 4th. That's good, because he struggled a bit at MotoAmerica, as we saw.
They're getting to terms with that big tire, and they're making changes. You know, to their electronic system isn't as sophisticated, but you know, talking to Ed, his crew chief, he said, look, the first thing that we do on Matthew's bike is we go after suspension, we go after geometry. Electronics are 3rd for us. So they made some changes, making it more comfortable for Matthew. And honestly, with the struggles he's had, and pile on that the expectation, Jason, of the fact that he's won a race, that's, you know, Skoltz has been on the podium 5 times after the disaster their disaster, quote unquote, that they had at MotoAmerica. I'm thinking this 4th place finish is a win. The fact that it's 8.7 seconds off of Cam Beaubier is a little, you know, it's a little bit of stinging, but he's only 1, you know, let's see, Matthew Skoltz only ended up 0.6 of a second off the podium.
Nothing. And the thing you got to look at is for a track like this with Matthew, it just didn't look like he had the acceleration of the Yosh bikes going up that straightaway, and that was really the tell. He's a bigger guy too.
Bigger guy.
Yep.
Could be gearing though as well.
But he's probably going to be as okay with a 4th as you can there. Also, as he's bringing in Josh Herron.
Jake Lewis in 6th spot. Kyle Wyman, a 7th place finish for Kyle. So, you know, Kyle would like to be up there racing with this group. There's no question about it, but he's chipping away at it. Danny Eslick able to get up into 8th spot after, of course, the departure of Josh Herron. That means David Anthony and his Fly Racing Kawasaki able to get up into 9th. Cam Peterson into 10th. All right, we'll take a break on beIN Sports. On the other side, we'll get to the celebrations and talk to these racers and find out how it was, especially for Cam, because he did not have an easy go at this win.
Not at all.
Welcome back to the Championship of Monterey here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Hannah's been busy down there in Parc Fermé, so let's get right down to it, Hannah.
I'm here with today's third place finisher. Roger, back-to-back podiums for you after fighting all the way from 12th again. Are you happy with this result?
Yes and no. I mean, I'm pretty satisfied. I didn't get through as quick yesterday, and in the middle of the race, I really had to use up everything I had to try to catch up to Garrett. And those last 5 laps, I was sliding around quite a bit. So, you know, I put myself in that hole by making a mistake, but, you know, happy to get 2 podiums. It's my best weekend of the year so far. I can't thank the whole Yoshimura Suzuki team enough, my crew, for everything. They gave me a great bike. They believe in me, and it's nice battling at the front again. And got to thank Arai Helmets, Alpine Star, and Monster Energy, and my family and all the fans out there.
Congratulations. Thank you, Roger.
All right, so Roger's niece Olivia and mom Rose here celebrating and supporting Roger Hayden, so he was able to get them a pair of third-place finishes.
Yeah, and I know he would have liked to have held on to second. His job was made hard qualifying. If he could have got up front a little bit earlier, I think his race might have been run a little bit differently.
No doubt. All right, let's get back down to Hannah. What's our second-place finisher? I think he's got to be happy, right, Hannah?
Tony Elias, no, Greg, he's not looking super happy. Tell us about your battle for third, Tony.
Honestly, I'm super happy because we stopped the damage a lot with this second position. I think I was able to fight in the front, but lap 1, like yesterday, neutral, close to be out of the track. Then corkscrew, same. Last corner, same. In the turn 1, like 6 or 7 times. In turn 5, like 4 or 5 times. So when I was coming back a little bit, another neutral, I was penalizing more than what I gained. At the end, I started to fighting with that group. I did all my best. At the end, super concentrate. Tried to solve this problem, but it was so difficult. Mentally, I'm super tired but thanks to my team, this second position is perfect. We stopped the damage and we are happy. Let's going forward for the next one.
Thank you so much, Tony. Congrats.
All right, so Tony's 6th appearance on the podium this season. He's had 5 wins, and this is his first non-win on the podium, a second place for the Spaniard.
False neutrals, Greg, are the worst. And really, we said it yesterday when we saw the crash, the second crash. I thought maybe you got a false neutral because it almost feels like it pushes you in there. You little too much front brake. It's very difficult to ride with false neutrals happening.
4 race wins in a row for Cam Beaubier. He's on fire, Hannah.
Cam, you are on fire. That's quite the streak you've got going. You know, talk a little bit about your battle with Josh. I mean, did you even know that he had gone down toward the end of the race?
I didn't. I came by and on my board it said, it just said a dash, and I was like, I wonder what that means. And then I unfortunately saw him down in the corkscrew, which is a bummer, man. I know he's probably beat after doing the World Superbike race and then our MotoAmerica Superbike race, because I'm beat just after one. So hats off to him. He was putting in an incredible pace there at the beginning. Beginning, halfway, and towards the end too. So yeah, big hats off to him. And I just want to thank my Monster Energy Yamalube Yamaha team. My R1 was working so good this weekend. I can't believe we got 4 in a row. So I'm really happy. I just want to keep this streak going. Utah's up next in about a month. So go home, get ready for that, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Big thanks to Bell Alpine Stars for keeping me safe, the man above, and all my family and friends for coming out and supporting me this weekend.
Thanks, Cam. Congratulations.
All right, great job by Cameron Beaubier. We'll see if this team decides to maybe do some testing. I know that Yoshimura team has some plans to test as well, so they can start to, I hate to say this, and really weird to say it, close the gap with Cam Beaubier at this point.
Boy, I tell you, when we went into Road America, it looked like Tony was going to run away with things. It's just amazing how 1 week he can turn things around, and it really has for Cameron, and he came in here and rode amazing.
All right, so that's the Motul Superbike class done and dusted. We'll take a break on beIN Sports. You don't want to go anywhere because our coverage from WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca continues. Super Sport is looming.